AM 1220, KHTS, your hometown station. We are back on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show special edition here on this beautiful Tuesday morning, and we are in studio today with Remo Belli and Alyssa Janney of the SCV Community Coalition. Want to get back into our conversation, Remo, your relationship with Health Rhythms and our nonprofit population. First, I know it's probably hard, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but just if you and Alyssa can give me off the top of your head a list or a couple of the nonprofits that you are working with this program.
Well, nonprofits. I don't think the program that we're involved in can be done without nonprofit assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And so we, in our message delivering, so to speak, there's a lot of this that can't be delivered through the typical MI music store, because the language there is different. The language has to do and should do, and justifiably, the playing of a musical instrument.
Understood.
So they don't know the language that has to do with why some nonprofits exist, and they exist for 100 and several thousand different reasons,
sure,
as we know. So in order to get the message to the general public, because this is the first time that a musical instrument is involved in a mass activity.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already spoken about that we can start with premature babies.
Yes.
We can't do too much for you after 105. After 105, you're kind of on your own.
Okay.
And that's where we are.
But 104, you're still right in there, right?
So what we do now is that in order to do an honest job or a realistic job of introducing to the general public why this condition should be considered, it has to come from a voice that has some credibility. Without credibility, it's not going to happen.
Sure.
And fortunately, I've been in show business long enough that I learned that a long time ago. So we have selected nonprofits related directly to the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
There are nonprofits that deal predominantly with disabilities.
Yes.
And so we have put those nonprofits in business. Those nonprofits, their message is to contact other nonprofits or to deal with the general public who isn't aware yet, because what we make is suitable to an institution as well as it is to a home.
Wonderful.
So how do you get this in an honest way into a home?
Mm-hmm.
And so we allow the nonprofit to sell the item, to deal with the item. They in turn make a profit to support their
Wonderful.
nonprofits, because I don't know of any nonprofit that doesn't need money.
Absolutely. So it sounds like a win-win to be involved in this coalition and to work with your product and your program to help further their cause, their mission with their clients and their people that they are serving.
My idea is something like this. The music products industry says that 8% of our population plays a musical instrument.
Okay.
And I can share with you that I have found the other 92%.
That's all the rest of us, right?
Right.
But like you said before, we can utilize musical instruments to a benefit outside of playing a musical instrument.
Yes. And it has to come from the nonprofit community.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one that's truly capable of delivering it to the masses.
Well, and they've got that client base. They understand where the deficiencies are or where the areas that this can work. So why recreate the wheel? Let them expose those people to the system, to the program.
Yeah, in the United States, we're heavily dependent on nonprofits.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the world, in a lot of instances, are taken care of by governments.
Yes.
They in turn, whatever system they use, you pay for it. It's one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is global.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you can touch anyone in the population.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Love that. Wow. We've got about 2 minutes. Is there anything else in terms of the nonprofits that we want to cover?
What of the nonprofits we have several types. We have the one connected with UCLA that is deals predominantly with the at-risk, and then we have two nonprofits that deal specifically with disabilities.
How about drugs and alcohol kinds of those kinds
Same.
of things? Same.
Well,
Yeah.
here in Santa Clarita, we've had interest in being involved in the coalition from about 15 different organizations so far at our first meeting, and that's about how many attended the first meeting. We are hoping to open that up to more nonprofits at the end of June.
Okay.
To be able to become aware of what the coalition is about and get involved. A Child and Family Center has trained people to be able to utilize rhythm-based programming for helping their clients.
Wonderful.
As I mentioned, the Action Academy has already. We've had interest from Lark Ranch in getting
course.
involved, and they've been connecting with the partners that we have suggested to them. We've had interest from local hospitals. We've had interest from actually all of our, pretty much all of our local schools are involved in providing some sort of rhythm-based tool. The Heart District uses it for students that have some emotional disturbance to help, and have been really pleased with how that's helping to impact
Wonderful.
students positively. So there's, and that's, I'm sorry, I can't remember off the top of my
Oh,
head.
no, I
the
know
other-
it's tough.
the other,
When you start listing, somebody's going to get
organizations,
left out. But the point is, there's a variety of ways that the tools can be utilized in every segment of our population. You have chosen to work with us here in Santa Clarita to expand your reach, and I love that, working through the nonprofits.
Right, we're trying to give you as much, the community as much bang for their buck. As
Sure.
much bang for the time, the investment in time and resource. Trying to make sure that the programs that are available are of a sufficient quality to really deliver to the community
Wonderful.
some wonderful resources. And there's inspiring research going out there that also that has nothing to do with us, but just on the power of rhythm. At Northwestern University, for example, there's a researcher there and her team, Nina Kraus, and they've done some really phenomenal research on the power of rhythm and how early music training, and she defines music training as not training for mastery, but just experience with the instrument. So, and that results in some amazing benefits for the brain.
Wonderful.
And, for being able to pull, for hearing, as we age, for being able to pick out sounds in a noisy environment. Early music training impacts that positively. So there's a lot of areas where, for students with autism, there's a lot of benefits for coming up along there as well. So
I'm sure.
So many benefits that are possible for our community and other communities by working with our nonprofits to deliver the resources in a rhythmical way.
Wonderful. Well, we appreciate that you guys are trying to do this out here in Santa Clarita. Again, you can like their Facebook page. That's remo.healthrhythms, or go to www.remo.com/health. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and wrap up our show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. AM 1220 KHTS, your hometown station. We're back on a special edition of the Nonprofit Spotlight Show. We are here thanks to Whitening Lightning. If you'd like whiter teeth in just 14 days, check them out at whiteninglightning.com. We are here highlighting the SCV Community Coalition. We've been talking with Remo Belli and Alyssa Janney and talking about the Health Rhythms program and how it relates and is being utilized with our local nonprofit organizations. Remo, I want to take my hat off to you and thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and your travels to come and share your passion with us. And I think a lot of the time, the fun for me is people come to this show and it's always, they're so passionate about what they do, but they want to share that. And obviously you guys have come to this point in your careers that you want to share what you've gathered through your careers respectively, and share that with our community to make us all healthier and better, and we're richer for that. So thank you so much, and I want to let you wrap up the show.
Well, thank you. First of all, I know that both Alyssa and myself are most appreciative to yourself, to the station, for allowing us to share our thinking with respects as to how we can and what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've accomplished what we've wanted to do here, and
Wonderful.
what we're planning on having is we've had for 20 years a recreational music center in North Hollywood.
Okay.
And within the next year or so, we're going to establish a recreational music center in Santa Clarita.
Nice.
And I think the general public then will get a better feel for what we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're finding out now locally and globally, that the whole idea of the use of rhythm and what it can do is now we've established a lot of credibility,
Mm-hmm.
and it's doing things like this that really cause it to happen. And I thank you again for that.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you say, Alyssa?
Well, I'm inspired to be involved with the work, and so grateful to all of our local nonprofits for the great work that they do to try to strengthen our community. And
Absolutely.
I'm really proud to be working with Remo and Ami to try to bring the richness and the power of rhythm to our community, so that we can hopefully see a great benefit in our community, and then share that information with other people across the country.
Mm-hmm. And what's next for you two? What's on the calendar next?
Well, we have no end, and it's true. It's life. It's life. We are now delivering messages, not only in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
but we deliver messages globally. We have lots of activity going on worldwide now, and so it's going to be part, I would say, within the next 20, 25 years. What we're talking about now will be standard.
Standard practice.
Yes.
Wow.
And it goes back to the tennis racket.
I'm going to remember that, because I recently bought a tennis racket thinking I could do that, and I am so not good at it, but I had fun. And I think that attitude, when you approach something new, is all that matters.
Yes.
You don't have to master everything, but have fun, enjoy it.
Well, what we have circumvents everything. You really have to be incapacitated before you can't do what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And the first drum tables that we made for Alzheimer's studies were 20 years ago.
Really?
Yes, for the Veterans Administration in Topeka, Kansas.
Wonderful.
Yes, and the music therapist.
It's
were
a
doing it.
beautiful instrument. It's outstanding, amazing, and you just have to see it and then feel it. And those big drum mallets, you get such a sense of power and strength. And it's just, when we did it in a circle, and everybody starts off at their own beat, and then it became, you directed us into a heartbeat, and that just that simple, consistent heartbeat was beautiful. Absolutely. I want to thank you for that. Thank you both again for taking the time out of your day to come and share with us. We are at the top of the hour. I don't know if we're going to give you some news, some local stuff, but stick around for our hour of music that follows this show. We are here again, the Nonprofit Spotlight Show by way of Whitening Lightning. We're here on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS, Canyon Country, Santa Clarita. Have a great day.